new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Mr. Z,
Yes.
we're here. Well, you're not on camera on this today, no?
No, no, I'm not camera
Okay,
today.
that's deliberate. Okay, now I was wondering. Right. Welcome everyone. Another Friday, another fantastic Friday is what I call these Fridays, right? We get to
Yeah.
have fun. We get to be inspired. I'll say this, Mr. Z. My song is. I don't know what I'm going to change the one for this room. It's so hard. It's so hard. You see, Mike, Michael LeBlanc, like the genius amongst us, right? He created a song
Yeah.
for me, which I
Yeah.
heard yesterday for the first time, and it's amazing. But it
I
is
saw. I think
directed.
yes.
What
I,
any
I think I
right?
yes. I think I have a song too, which you created for me as well. King Jimmy, happy
Right.
Friday. Welcome, my brother. How are you?
Good. Are we live right now?
We are.
Yes, we're
We've
live.
just gone live. How are you
Nice.
doing?
We-
We're using a new platform, restream. So good stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We just talking about potentially changing our start music as well. New
Oh,
everything. Things always change, right? Things always change.
it's
Yes.
always a good thing. Yes.
It.
No, but I'm glad.
It's.
I'm glad you're here because you're the career guy. I was like, Zion, where's Jamie? The word career means Jamie must be here because he's a career counselor. He's the one that we need, right?
There we
So
go. Yep.
I'm
Yes.
glad you're here. How are you doing anyway?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you guys?
We're doing
We're here,
well.
right? Yeah, we're here. It's Friday. Life is good. Life is good.
Good.
Indeed. Indeed. Yes, thank you so much, King Jimmy. Thank you so much, Mr. Annie. And for everyone who has joined us today on the live stream, I know you cannot see my face, but I believe you can hear my voice, and we're excited to have you here with us. Now, we are always here to have fun. It's not all about being strict. We are always flexible. We are always loving. We always have good conversation. That's why you see us at the beginning of the stream. We are exchanging pleasantries just to greet ourselves and know how we are doing. So that's how we do it here. So in case you are joining us and you're thinking maybe it's going to be all serious faces, all pumped up, no. In here we have fun, even as we have our conversation daily. So thank you so much everyone for joining us. We appreciate you. Guys, drop in the comment section where you are joining us from so that we can shout you out and let the world know that you are here. For us today, it's another edition of our Positivity Live event. As you all know, we come in here every Friday discussing about different topics, but basically on the foundation of positivity, bringing positivity in every conversation, bringing positivity in every topic, bringing positivity in every life because we know we've seen on how the power of positivity can change your life from a point zero to a point 1,000, and as the case may be. We believe so much in the power of positivity and the transformative power that it brings to make you become a better person. So if you are here with us, drop in a comment so that we can shout you out. All right, we already have from YouTube. We have Gel Pepe 21. Say, hey friends, it's nice being with you all year again. Thank you so much. How you are doing? We are doing well. And Pepe, it's so good to have you. Thank you so much. Thank God it's Friday. Indeed, we are grateful that it's Friday as well. We have Rebecca in the building. Rebecca Atala Adu. I hope I'm pronouncing your surname correctly. If I'm not, please pardon me. And you can join us on stage to be able to correct me and also share in the conversation. Rebecca said, I'm joining in from France. Amazing. From France, so good to have you here. Pepe said he's joining in from Ikorodu, Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, we have people from all over the world who are joining us on the stream. So wherever you are joining us from, just type in the comments so that we can know that you are here. And if you are joining us live, type hashtag live. And for those of us who will be watching the replay later, drop hashtag replay so that people can know that you are here with us. We are streaming on all platforms, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and also on Twitch. Recently, from the month of March, we started
Your
stream,
favorite
stream,
channel. Your favorite channel, right?
yes, we started streaming to Twitch, and we are able to reach out to more people because the whole essence of this conversation is not just to have the talk, but to be able to reach out to more people, to impact more people, to get more people inspired, to take actionable steps to make their life and their career better. So, do you know of somebody? You have a friend, you have a colleague, you have a coworker, or you have a family member that needs to hear about the power of confidence and competence and how they can make you a winner in your career journey. Tag them, share the link to them or to the group, to the page, or anywhere you want to share the link to, because they need to be part of this conversation. Because at the end of the day, it's all about personal growth. It's all about becoming a better person. It's all about 1% better than the way you were yesterday. And that's why we're bringing this conversation to you. Already on stage, I have my co-host with me, Mr. Enick and Jimmy, and I know that more persons are going to be joining us in the conversation to be part of this. So we're quickly going to introduce ourselves and tell you what we do, who we are, and how we help people, so that you can be able to reach out to us at any point in time, so that we can be able to help, because the goal is to help you become a better person. We have Paulette in the building. Paulette is saying Friday fun time. Oh, yes, with a side helping of positivity. Yes, amazing. Indeed, positivity is one way to kickstart the fun of the Friday. So thank you. Rebecca is saying, yes, please, thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. Pepe said he's joining us live. Chinelo is in the building. Chinelo says she's joining us live. Amazing. Paulette said, I'm joining in live from London. Whoa. Yes, we have people from all over the world. Keep dropping the comments so that we can shout you out. If you are joining us for the very first time, maybe you are hearing our voices or seeing our faces. You're not seeing my face now, but don't worry, we'll see very soon. My name is Zion Inogere. You're Mr. Positive Energy, a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corners of the earth, 1 million people at a time. For me, I believe so much in the power of positivity. I'm a positivity coach and mentor. I help people intentionally embrace positivity every day of their life. And also, I host online events. For anyone out there, you want to stay visible, you want more people to hear your voice, you want to put yourself in the front of a target audience through online events, feel free to reach out to me. Let's help you put all the logistics together and let your voice be heard, be seen, and be trusted on a global scale. So that's what I do, and I'm willing to help you because I'm all about people, supporting people, and helping people grow, not just individually, and also in their career. So I'm going to pass the mic to my co-host to introduce themselves, even as we shout at more people from the comment section. So, Mr. Eni, I'll pass the mic to you and then also to Jimmy.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time. I see the amazing Mel's joined us. So, and I see Kenny's here as well. It's amazing people to connect with. Sharon Rose, of course, I see you too. Welcome. I'm. What am I doing? I'm on a mad, crazy mission to finish the book I'm working on. I guess this is part of the conversation today. So I've been working on this book since last summer, and it's nearly done. It's written. Now is the editing part, and you never know how long it takes to edit a book. It probably takes longer to edit a book than to write a book. So it's a process, but I realize it has to be done. I'm gonna have to give it time, so I'm giving it days. Now, lucky for me, I get to sleep when I'm tired, right? That's life. But publishing books is what I do for a living. It's how I want to help you. So beyond that, we are doing more bigger events. I think I always had a vision to take these events into real life, IRL. And that's where we're going. So I'll tell you more about the events that we have coming up as we plan them, I suppose. But you are going to see us on stages somewhere soon. Yay! Yeah. How you doing, Jamie? Please share with us. I said this is your topic, Korea. Anything I mention is Korea, and I only ever think of you. So Talk to us, my friend.
Appreciate that. That's exciting to hear about doing live events. I would love it one day if we all, could get on stage together in a live fashion. I know it's tougher where we're located, but never say never, right? That's what I say. Never say never. So, yes, thank you for passing it over to me. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining in from. We got, I think, a few more people leaving some comments on here too as well. So I see, who do I see in here? Melanie Richards is here. Says hello. Zion and guests, hello. Good to see you. We got, I saw Kenneth earlier saying hi. We got Zarar in the house. Hello, friends. Good to see you, Zarar. We got Martha, who's here, saying hi, friends. And then we got Jackie Hallberg as well, saying, hey, everybody. Well, good to see you too. And Zion has shared the link. We are using a new platform, right? We've kind of left the old one. We're starting with Restream, so it's a little bit looks a little different now, right? But still the same stuff, same live, and we got the link right in the comments. If you want to join our event, you just click on the link. You'll go backstage, and then we will bring you on when it's your turn to speak. So a little bit different than before. You just sit tight. We'll bring you on. So. Yes, so my name is Jamie Edwards, as you know. I am coming from the United States. I'm in Illinois, so I'm in the Midwest, about an hour outside of the big city of Chicago. And what I do, as you can see in my title, it says Jam Sessions with Jamie. That is my company, and I do career coaching, right? Which is perfect for today's topic because we're talking about, winning career combination and talking about how you need to have confidence and competence. So we're going to share a lot about that today. But what I do is I help people with different stages of their career search. So I help people with rewriting their resume. I help people with their interview practice and making sure they know how to answer certain types of questions a specific way, and how to prepare for interviews and how to negotiate salary when they do get that opportunity. And I also help people with their LinkedIn profiles as well. The LinkedIn profile is a big deal, right? Because everybody is trying to get noticed on LinkedIn and everybody wants recruiters and hiring managers to see them. But sometimes your LinkedIn profile might not be getting the visibility that you need it to get. So I help people out with that too. So my company is called Jam Sessions with Jamie. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 3 years now on my own. It's just me. There's nobody else that works with me. I don't have a big company that I work, where several people are helping people out with their stuff. You're just working specifically with me when you have somebody help you with your job search. So, I feel like that brings a peace of mind to a lot of people because they don't feel like they're being outsourced to different people they've never met before. Like every time I work with somebody, the one-on-one conversation is with me personally, just me. So that's a little bit about myself. And what I do, obviously with career coaching and, it's perfect because of the topic we're talking about today. So I'm excited to share some of my thoughts on today's topic. And let's have a good conversation today and bring some good people up on stage to share their thoughts on today's topic. And I will pass it back over to Zion to continue to start the conversation. Then we'll kind of move down and share our thoughts, and then we'll start bringing people up on stage. So, that's a little bit about me. Back over to you, Zion.
All right. Thank you so much, King Jimmy. It's always a privilege to be on stage with you and be able to inspire more people. And for anyone who wants to come on stage and share with us, it's an open conversation because we believe in collaborative ideas. We believe in collaborative insights. We believe that everyone has different perspective, have different view on the topic. And you want to join us on stage. You want to be part of the amazing people whose faces are showing on the screen right now, and you want to inspire the world with your words. Feel free, the link is in the comment section. Click on it, join us on stage, and we'll be so glad to have you speak and inspire our audience as well. One thing we believe is everyone has a voice, and your voice matters. And what you have to share with us today has the power to encourage somebody. What you have to share with us today has the power to be a catalyst that inspires people to take actionable steps in changing their life. For you, you might have had experience or an encounter on how confident and competence has changed your life, has changed your career. Feel free. That's the story we want to hear. The story that is unique, the story that is powerful, the story that is transformative. So join us on stage. Don't be shy. If you are not in a place to be able to put on your camera, it's okay. As long as we can hear your voice, that's all that matters. Click on the link, join us on stage, and be part of those who are inspiring others to take a step in making their life better. For me, today's conversation is very personal. Today's conversation is something I believe that we all can resonate with. Why? Because we live in a world where so many people are talking, so many noise everywhere, but only a few can actually do what they say. We live in a world, I think I have something to say. One is, Annie said, people are confident in talking rubbish. That really got me laughing because that's true. People can confidently talk rubbish, but then they don't have the competence to back it up. So it's not just about talking, it's not just about making the noise. Do you have the proof to back up your talkings? Do you have what it takes to put into action all that you said? And that's why we believe that it's not just enough to be confident. From the conversations last week, we spoke about confidence extensively. But we've seen that it's not just enough to be confident, but bringing competence into your confidence makes a huge difference and makes you a more reliable and trusted person. For me, there's one thing I've learned about combining confidence and competence in my career. It that it helps you to build more trust, be more reliable, and be more capable. Like I said, we live on the online space. We see many people talk this, many people say that. But at the end of the day, when you put into action those things you've said, it doesn't make any difference. You are still the same person. Your life is still the same. It doesn't change you. But then, how can you back up your confidence with your competence? It's key. And that's why there's something I've learned every day about backing up my confidence with my competence. It's be able to be open to growth. If you're open to growing every day, I tell you, it gives you the backup to be able to, you know, to align your action with your word. Confident and competent is about aligning your action with your words. You said it, but then does your action align with what you said? Can you actually do what you said? Can your action be able to back up the boasting you boasted? A lot of people have learned to boast. They boast a lot. Oh, I can do X, Y, Z. I can 10x your income. I can times 20x your income in 1 week, in 2 weeks. People say a whole lot of things. Why? Because maybe they want you to buy their courses. They want you to, buy their product. They can say a whole lot of eye-catching words. But at the end of the day, what they said cannot match up with the action. Their action cannot match up with what they say. And that's why it's very important, to be able to be a competent person. As a professional, competence is non-negotiable. It's not negotiable. If you say you can do this, be able to back it up with your action. Let what you say you can do be that which you can do. Let that which you say you can produce be that which you can produce. Because it's very, very important. There's something I've learned about the journey as an entrepreneur. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a lifelong game. And it is something that competence can do for you in combining it with confidence. It helps you to be sustainable. When people see that consistently you said this and then you back it up with your action, people want to be around you. People want to be near you. People want to do business with you. People want to partner with you. People want to work with you because they know that Annie is reliable. Jamie is reliable. Annie said he can help you write a book and publish it and make you a bestseller. And he does it. It works. Jamie said he can help you with your career and revamp your resume, help you build your LinkedIn. He does it. Zion said he's a positivity coach and mentor and he can help you host online events. Yes, he does it. So being able to back up your words with your action is key. Now, if there's something I've learned about competent and confident is a lot of people, we are competent, but we are not confident enough. Why for some? They are confident, but they're not competent. It goes both ways. But whichever category you fall in, it's okay. And that's why I mentioned earlier, it's a lifelong journey. For some of us, we didn't start it like this. We have to grow again. We have to learn. We have to learn and unlearn for us to be where we are today. So whichever category you fall in, you can grow and you can also become a better person. If there's one thing again I've learned about confidence, it's in pushing positivity and spreading positivity. Confidence has really helped me to stay positive and persistent during my setback because um, I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my ability. I'm confident in what I can do. It just helped me have this mindset that yes, no matter what happens, I can overcome this. I can go through this. Then the confidence in the factor, the confidence in this in the scenario really helps me to be able to put into practical actions, practical steps in how I can be able to overcome setbacks. It's all about actionable steps. Beyond just talking, what actionable step can I take to help me become a better person? What actionable step can I take to help me improve my business? What actionable step can I take to help make my career become better? This is where the solution lies. Being able to be practical about the steps you can take. Beyond just talking, be able to give you tips, share nuggets with you, share materials with you to say, you know what, when you do this and this is the result you're going to get. That's what competence is all about. And you've proven it. People can be able to attest to it. People can see it. People can feel it. And then they can be able to get a desired result. I read a quote sometime, I think that was last week, says, competence give you the ability to succeed. Confidence gives you the courage to pursue success. I'll read that again. It said, competence gives you the ability to succeed, while confidence gives you the courage to pursue success. Indeed, competence is about ability. Like I said earlier, it's about what you can do. But beyond just having the ability, do you have the courage to pursue? Do you have the courage to put yourself out? And when we spoke about confidence last week, a lot of us, we have value to give. A lot of us, we have what it takes to make a huge impact in the society. But then we don't have the confidence to show, especially on screen. A lot of people are camera shy. Oh, I don't want them to see my face. I'm not makeup. My voice doesn't sound good. People give all sort of excuses not to show, even though they are competent. That's why these two goes hand in hand. It's not just enough to be confident, you have to be competent. It's not just enough to be competent, you have to be confident. Because competence without visibility does not yield any result. And for you to be able to put yourself out there to be visible, come from a place of confidence. The confidence in believing in yourself, in believing in your ability, in believing in the power for you to do and create solutions for people. So I encourage everyone out there. The whole essence of this conversation is to remind us that yes, it is good to talk. It is good to say you can do this. You can confidently talk about anything. It's also good to be able to back up what you're saying with your action. If you're confident, it's an advantage. If you're competent, it's an advantage. But when you put the two together, they cause an explosion that can catapult you to the very height that you want to be. So don't just be confident, also be competent. Don't just be competent, also be confident. Because at the end of the day, these two factors are very important in our careers and in our everyday life. With that being said, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it so much. Kenneth says nobody says I want nobody to see my face. I have no makeup on now. You don't need makeup, Mr. Kenneth. You don't need makeup at all. You don't need makeup. It's amazing. So thank you so much. Like I said, for anyone you want to jump on stage and share with us, feel free. The link is in there. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass the mic to King Jimmy. So yes, King Jimmy, then Mr. Amy, because King Jimmy is a career coach, is a career counselor, So I know he has a lot to share on this topic. Then it goes to Mr. Annie, and we can start bringing our special guests who are already on the backstage with us so that they can share with us on the conversation today. So King Jamie, the mic is yours.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Zion. Yeah, I love this topic, right? Because confidence and competence, right? Like a lot of people, when it comes to job searching or even being in a job, sometimes they have one, but they don't have the other, right? But the thing is, when you have one versus the other, there's kind of limitations on what you're doing, in your job. So like, the way I like to tell people this all the time, and I tell people when I do my coaching, is that when you have confidence, right, that helps you show the value that you have. That could be for when you're looking for a job, that confidence of knowing what knowing your skill set and knowing what you bring to the table, right? That's what the confidence comes into play. The competence part of it, right? When that happens, it proves the value that you have, right? Can you do the certain skills that you're being asked to do? Can you show it to people, right? Can you show that value, right? So the thing is, when you have competence, but you don't have the confidence, a lot of times people might not ever see what you can do, right? Because you don't have that confidence and you're kind of holding yourself back. But if you have the confidence and you don't have the competence, right? Sometimes people notice the gap. You might be overconfident, but the competence isn't showing things, right? So you always want to continuously learn and grow your skills and learn as much as possible so you have that competence piece, right? But the strongest people when it comes to their jobs, they have both. They do both at the same time, right? They have that confidence. They know that they can do the job. That competence is there, and they're really focusing on both at the same time, and it's going hand in hand. And that's the people you see who progress in their careers, who move higher up, right? Who get the promotions, things like that, right? So when you think about confidence, right, it kind of is the behaviors that you have, right? It could be when you're working on the job and you're confident, so you speak up. Like, let's just say you have a meeting with your boss, has a meeting with all your coworkers, right? And you speak up in the meeting. That shows your confidence, right? You feel good. You're speaking up. You have that confidence. It could be in a job search, applying for roles that maybe you would have never applied to before because you know that, you feel good and you know what you bring to the table and you're applying to those roles that you want, not the ones that you think you're good for and you're not sure about the other ones. You're applying to any roles that you want because you feel like you can get those roles. That's confidence, right? It could be something too, like if you're working in a job and your boss is always talking about ideas to make the business better, but maybe you don't agree with that. Maybe you have maybe you think that something could happen that could make the business run better. And you share those ideas with your boss. That shows confidence, right? Because it shows that you are coming up with your own ideas and you're wanting to bring those ideas to the table, right? And then something I do during the interview process, when I do my career coaching with people, I show people how to negotiate salary, right? And I give them the confidence to be able to ask for the amounts that they know that they can make because they have the experience. That's confidence, right? All that confidence, it shows that you know what you want. It shows that you feel good in the role you're in and that you can, you're not kind of resisting and holding things back. And then when we talk about the competence, right, we talk about credibility and how do you do the things that you do? How is your skills work? So like your competence could be, how do you do the job overall when you're in a job, right? Do you have the skills to be able to do the job? And are you solving the problems that need to be solved? Or do you understand how your job works and how your field works, right? How long have you been doing this for? Are you always continuing to learn, and are you growing on the job, and are you taking advantage of the type of the training that the job gives you so you can continue to grow and have that competence continue to evolve over time, right? All those things, when it comes to competence, it builds your credibility and it makes your company and the job you work for, or the company you work for, it lets them know that this person knows what he's doing. Not only are they confident, but they also are showing that they have the skills and that they know what they're doing and that they can perform this job well. And that's the people that they're going to look for when they want to promote down the line, right? That's what it comes down to, is when you have confidence and that competence together, you can really put them both hand in hand, and then you can really advance to the next level in your career and really do big things in your role. Right. And that's what I teach when I do my career coaching, is I teach those things. Sometimes I work with people who don't have the confidence because they've been looking for a job for a long time. They just feel like, what am I doing wrong? I lost that confidence. I thought I had the confidence and now I don't have it anymore. Right. And sometimes you got to bring that confidence back. Sometimes it's a lack of the skills, right? And the competencies. And I tell people all the time, set a goal for yourself every week on your job search and look for some online classes that you can take, or continue to learn as much as possible, right? Take some free classes, join some different things. There's all different ways that we can learn. The internet is a big place. The world is a big place. We can always learn new things, right? So both of those are important. This is what I teach, skill development. You get better results that way. You get a stronger confidence. And then when those things come hand in hand, you get referred to better opportunities. And that's what people ultimately want, right? Is they want to continue to grow. They don't want to feel like they're stuck in one place. They want to continue to grow, and they want to have better opportunities. So when you have those two things together, it's going to do great volumes for you. It's going to make you do big things. So, and I don't like to plug what I do, obviously, as a career coach, but there may be people on this call, who are stuck in their career search, or maybe they are in a job right now and they just feel like they're not valued and they're in a toxic workplace, and they want to get that confidence back, and they want to continue to grow. I'd love to help you out with that. If you're looking for somebody who can help with that, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to help you with that. That's what I do every day, is career coach. And Sharon says here, talk used to be cheap. Now it's free. Walk your talk. I love that. That sounds great. Leslie says confidence is a byproduct of achievement. It grows like any muscle in direct proportion to its use. That's couldn't have said it better myself. I love it. This is why I love these conversations, right? We got Kenneth, who's always learning, growing, and developing to be a better version of himself at work for the betterment of him and his employer. I love that, Kenneth. That's, that you always bring that energy, and, I see it and I appreciate that. So, that's how I feel about both confidence and competency. I love this topic, and I'm excited to see what Any is going to talk about and share his thoughts. And then we do have some people on stage here who are ready to rock and roll too as well. I don't know. I know you guys are up here on the stage. If everyone just wants to make sure we mute our mics, I can't see if we're muted or not, but we'll go ahead and pass it over to Any, and then we will bring up our two speakers on stage. So Any, are you there, my friend? He's coming on, I think. There he is. All right. Well, it's all over to you. I passed it on to you. So if you want to go ahead. Yeah, I know. I guess I caught you off guard there because you just jumped back on. Yeah. Restream. It's the rebirth of Any. There you go. He's
I wish. Restream is a streaming platform. So I had to reset my device to my internet, my mobile internet, to make sure I didn't have glitches and cutting it in and out. I came back just in time. Look, and Jamie's amazing show, my friend. There are a few more people that we need to welcome. So Alexis, my super editors here. There's a comment from Kenny about you, Jamie, which I think deserves to be highlighted. There you go. It says Jamie Edwards. He's truly such a beautiful gem of a gentleman, a human being, and a friend of mine. And to millions who share his goodness with others. He shares his goodness with others for the betterment of humankind. I love how people find kind words, right? Yes, Jamie.
I'm crying right now. That's
wait till you get a song written about you, then you'll be truly, then you'll be emotional.
Very kind of you, Kenneth. Thank you.
Yeah, really. So people find they're very kind. So Alexis says, yes, competent but not confident. That can change, right? That can change. So yes, exactly, Jamie. So you shared some gems there, my friend. Super useful. So who do I see? Right, This is a link to join the studio. So the link is in the chat. The worst could go to the event page and you find the link there. If you want to join us to share, I will pass the mic to our amazing guests who have joined us. Miss Paulette, we see you. How are you doing? Yes, yes. You can smile all you like, but you have to talk sometimes.
I'm pressing the button and it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
You know how it is. There's been
yeah,
technical stuff, like press the button. Um,
yeah.
I think everything that Jamie said is absolutely, to be echoed. But the thing that I always go back to, as a trainer, um, was the quote that Marriott used, which was, "Look after the people, and the company will look after itself." And that was the thing that I lived and died by. That was, if you're looking after your staff, your people, you're supplying the training, you're giving them the ability to grow in confidence, to grow in the ability to develop themselves, to allow themselves to go further up the ladder. Um, but it's about the team around you as well. Creating strong, good teams. That means that no one ever drops the ball because there's always someone else there to pick it up if anything does go wrong. And I think that knowing your team have got your back gives you the confidence to be the best you can be. And, the vanity that comes with confidence sometimes, the cockiness, the arrogance, the conceitedness, there's a fine line when you come across salespeople and you sometimes go, no thanks. And they've not even sold you very much and that you've already decided it's not going to be a sale because they come across as being overtly confident, too in your face. But if you come across as confident because you know your stuff, you know what you're talking about, you're able to deliver and bring forth the product in a way that someone says, I really need that. That's the service I need, or that's the product I need. I think it's always about giving somebody value. I need that. You give me that. That is the trade. And it's always done better when you feel like someone is doing it in a very professional way, but in a friendly, confident, and knowledgeable way. And there's a fine line between being too in your face, too overly confident, to being or coming across as being, a bit flash. So, I just think that's a really lovely thing when you know that someone's always got your back, your team will never let you down, so that your back, the back room guys are as good as the front room guys. So, that if you say it's going to be there on Tuesday, you know that your staff are going to get that product out and it's going to get delivered. And therefore, you come across as someone who is as good as your word, then they're going to buy from you again. Whereas if you say it's going to be there on Wednesday and it arrives next Tuesday, the week after, then, you're not as good as your word. If you say it's going to do something and it doesn't do it because you don't really know the product, but you're upselling something that really hasn't got the capability, then again, you're never going to get another sale and you're probably going to get a return. So I just think there's a real element of knowledge, power, support, team, and then the confidence can come from those things as well as having it yourself. So I just thought I'd mention that. Thank you.
Trying to reduce the screen, but Mrs. Z just put it back up again. But we'll take you back down, Paulette. Yay. You know, Mrs. Z, I'll leave it to you. You deal with it, right? I'm not
It's not.
doing it.
It's not me, Annie. It's not me.
It's not you, no? Okay, right. Okay, so now Jamie's gonna go big. No, I think Paulette, great share, great share. I think can we be too confident? Now, that's the question that I think you're addressing, Paulette. And Of course we can. We can. It's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. But I'm not at all against this. Like this, the best way I can put it is when you know you can. Yeah, that's confidence. And you can back it up with the skills and with that with I think I saw somewhere. I think Dr. Leslie mentioned confidence is a byproduct of achievement. So when you've done it before, then you know you can. When nothing beats that, right? And yes, I think even if some people say no to you, I think you can still move forward without being shaken. I think half the time, a lot of people are shaken by what happens. Again, Mrs. Z mentioned resilience is part of the conversation today. Really, where you have the confidence, and you can back it up with with the ability to do. I think you can be genuinely. There's nothing wrong with having a swagger, right? There's nothing wrong with it at all. I was arguing with Mike, a couple of days ago. He's saying no, that you don't need to have the swagger. That you just have your head up. Nah. I like the swagger. I really do. Maybe that's just me, right? I like. I think I like to to be in that situation where you are so confident that almost if when you get rejection, when you get you know when you get anything less than, I guess, admiration and applause, it's like water off a duck's back. Of course, part of all of this is the fact that you have to be willing to to learn, right? As Leslie says, like confidence and achievement, it grows like a muscle. The more you do it, the more you know you can. And that comes
And
from
be willing to fail as well.
yes.
Because failing isn't failing. Failing is just learning. It's just a different word for it.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. So Alexis, I see what you're saying. Say, I'm confident. You certainly are, my friend, my super editor. The confidence can be derived from competency. However, to remain competent and confident, we must remain relevant. Isn't that so true, right? Again, I think Paulette was building on this in terms of sometimes, we're very good at something, but I guess we've learned in business, you must be good at something that people want. Not just what people want and what they're willing to pay you for. That's relevant. So Alexa says relevance comes from honing our skills, becoming proficient, means becoming good at what we do, and continuing to develop new ones, and of course applying them. So you're so right, right? You're so right. I have to take some time to thank Mr. Mike. Mike, thank you so much for that song. I'm trying to work out how to use it best. I think I might use it for my opening songs for my events. I need to create a video to go with it, Mike. Help! But it is a truly, it's a wonderful song, Mike. It's great to be reminded what we do and maybe even why we do it. And to a degree, I say, I love how you capture all of those. Who we are, what we do, why we do what we do, and even how we do what we do. It's a 4 minute insight into our lives, into our careers. I'm taking the time to thank you because I didn't want to send you a DM and say thank you because you think, most people think DMs is just they just say. But genuinely, when I heard this song this morning, when I found it this morning, I was genuinely touched, and I thank you for all you do. And of course, you've written many songs for our friends here, and you're clearly a genius at what you do, my friend. Thank you so much. And I know you wrote one for Paulette as well. So as you say, Paulette, you're so dear that words don't just fail me. They quit in protest and send a substitute. Keep doubting us, man. You are that guy too, my friend. You are that guy. You are the one who makes us all shine, and we thank you for what you do. Mr. Sean, Coach Sean, as I call him. How are you doing? He says, "Hello, everyone. I see you too, Zara. Hi to everyone watching. I thank you so much for being here. I know your time is valuable. I see OBS here as well. Welcome. Weekend is nearly here, right? So this is Sean. Yeah. So no, this is Mike in on his YouTube. Says Sean, blessed to you. Blessed to see you, wise one. Sean is the wise one, right? Your words drift through the room like calm water, finding truth in every ripple. Oh, how does a man find such words to compliment someone? That is so beautiful, Mike. That's truly so beautiful. Yes, swagger on. I will, Mike. I will. I will. I sashay as I walk. Not true. No, that's not true. No, but the reason that you can, I think you can swagger in your heart, right? You can swagger knowing that it's your time. That's more the swagger I'm talking about, Mike. It's our time. This is our time. If not, what are we waiting for? You know, to Mike to Coach Sean said, confidence isn't produced by skill. It's shaped by the thinking happening in the moment. Sean, I agree with you 100%. I guess, but knowing when you can and you do. That's the thinking behind confidence, right? But knowing that that you've done it before and you can do it again. Even if you haven't done it perfectly, at least you're making progress towards being the person who can. That's a real challenge, right? So OBS says your competence should give you a kind of confidence. I agree in a sphere of life. I agree. Confidence is not all encompassing. It's not all encompassing, and competence. No one's good at everything. No one has a confidence in every situation. Yes, I'm here talking, but if you said to me, go and run a marathon, you soon find that any doesn't do marathons. And no, there's no confidence there whatsoever, right? If you say any, give someone an injection, I'd be like, no, I don't think I can do it. I just can't. We've all got our quirks, and we have areas that we're great at. And that's what we'll build our business on. That's what we'll build our career on. Doing what we enjoy, doing what we're passionate about, what we're good at, then becomes that thing, right? We also need to know the level of our competence and know where to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I love that. Say life is not just one straight line, and we often have to go forward and then pivot, change. That's why we have to learn things and then relearn. And again, part of growing is realizing we never had all of it in the first place. So we have to learn, and relearn and unlearn things as we go. Right. Thank you so much, Coach Carrie. I see you. I don't see you because Kenny mentions you, so I know you're here, right? So I'm so glad you're here. And Sean says, in fact, I'm working on an article on how self-doubt raises our competence and awareness. Yes. Oh, I look forward to seeing the article, Sean. I really do. So, Gabe, thank you for joining us as well. So, Gabe has his show that he does with his wife, about relationships, and so do connect with him and do go along. It's always there's much that we learn from everyone. Thank you so much. Mr. Zora, are you still there?
Yeah. Um, uh, hi, and
Hello.
Annie.
Yeah.
But just
You
yeah, Annie, how was that trip to uh, you know
which trip?
you were driving you right when you were driving
Yeah, this,
and
I drive. Again, maybe it's part of the conversation in that when you know how to get to places, once you've done it before, you're fine, right? Even no matter what happens on the journey, even if it rains all the way, and you have
Yeah.
to, and you have potential risk of dying. Confidence is and knowing how to drive always nice. So again, it's part of the same equation we're talking about today, right? Yeah. Well, please, share with us. So, you
So,
know, how do
Annie,
you see
am I
competence and
audible? Like, I'm not
Yeah,
breaking,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No. At the moment, you're perfectly fine.
Because the confidence when learning from my friends there for the last years now, it's like 2 or 3 years. And I'm not turning camera on. I don't have any problem with that. But just because the last time when we were in the restream, every I went to the replays and I saw my own self. It was so much breaking and breaking and breaking. So this time I'm making sure, okay, my video and the message goes, without breaking. Just knowing that you know, and then you're doing it every day, and then it has a lot to do with 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 our upbringing also, the way we we are brought up, parents, because of that patriarchal and patrilineal systems and living all together. I can see the way BB wakes up every morning before us with confidence. She's at 8 o'clock, and then she wakes up at 6 o'clock in the before the nephews and nieces they have to go to the school. So start from very like every morning, and she's making paratha and roti for them. They know that this paratha and roti is going to give them confidence and strength to think what how BB wakes up in 70 years of age for them to. So it has a lot to do with the way a parent they raise us. I remember um, I was a lucky child actually. My parents always say me, "Rar, look at yourself. You went to those international schools, wow, and we never had that chance." So parents they always want something. I mean, they want equality. Child, whether you are the youngest or the eldest, they want equality because they love each of them. They will lose any you lose anybody in the house. We all have to mourn, right? So but they also know, okay, which one holds what sort of mentality and what skills they have. So I always tell my brothers, okay, you guys to go in the army and serve army, but you guys quit. So did I ever said you guys, okay, Baba help you guys in such way, but it was you who was not ready, and you starting for different companies. So again, army is better profession than anything else. So the parents, they okay, which your son has what kind of character and how their thought processes are working. Now, how is that child with that equal balance that must hold, being parents or grandparents, duty actually to keep that balance. And that should when we grow up. Now, look back. I remember I was very passionate about modeling, and I passed out from like it was 2006, 7, and I found my first from passing out from our college. And I had a chance of like working in first job, NADRA, National Database Registration Authority, where they were like updating the systems. Now I was like 18, and I started working time in National Database NADRA. Um, that time it was everything was like then, and now you have to move all the data to to digital databases. So now having 200 million people and moving all those registers into manual review databases, digital was like, but you keep on doing. And at the side, I was also passionate about that print media market and wanted to always like, yeah, I want to work with that designer. And I knew that design requires people to be in that kind of and all and fitness with their abs, 6 abs and six. So that passion into a job on bus, on a transport bus, and at the same time taking some time out and going to the gym and having my routines, bring my body in shape. That was something that's actually building my confidence to face the camera, to meet different designers, to meet different photographers. And over time, I realized that I'm building my skills, confidence, competencies, skill, because you know one day. Okay, you have in your hand, and that comes with knowledge.
It's just me. I think it cut off.
Yeah. So I'm displaying my patience, and so I'm thinking he will come back. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are a few comments to that we can do meanwhile. I think Coach Sean has a very important question. Yeah, he says, how many capable people still hesitate to speak in meetings or question themselves before making decisions? If
I think
anyone
that
wants to think about that, feel free, please.
yes, I think there's a whole lot because that's a very resounding question to say how many highly capable people and still hesitant to speak in meetings or ask questions. For me, I used to be in this category. It's very funny that when I ask a question, does anybody have something to say? In fact, I have a lot to say, but because of lack of confidence, I couldn't ask questions. I couldn't share my own opinion. And at the end of the day, the suggestion they are taking, it's when I compare it to what I'm supposed to share, it's you know that wow, my thought was far better than this. But because I couldn't share my thoughts, then somebody has thought has to be taken into consideration. I know there are many persons like that, especially entrepreneurs. For people you have business ideas, for people you have something of value you want to share with the world, but because of lack of confidence, you are not able to put yourself out there. You are not able to talk in rooms. You are not even able to show yourself on camera. You're like, oh, I don't want people to show my face. I don't want people to hear my voice. My voice is too tiny. My voice is too thick. My voice is too light. People just give all kind of excuses. And I
Yeah.
will tell you this: all these are boiled down to self-limiting beliefs.
Mm.
Self-limiting belief. Because I will share with you, like I said, I used to be in this position before. I used to think, what will people say? How will
Mm.
people think? How will people feel? Will
Yeah.
people like me? Will people
Mm.
not like me? Keep asking myself this question until I get it to a point where I don't really care about what people say or what they think, what they feel. I just want to share what I want to share. I just want to say what I want to say.
Mm.
That really helped me to be more visible and put myself out. For some people, it can just be their skin color. Oh, because I'm black. Oh, because I'm white. Oh, because I'm yellow. Oh, because I'm this. That they are refusing to put themselves out there.
Mm.
And Coach Sean, uh, that's a very profound question. And it's
Mm.
also an encouragement to people out there. It doesn't matter who you are, it does not matter where you're from. You are valuable, and what you share is important. Someone
Mm.
have the courage, to say what you have to say, to ask the question you need to ask. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't take anything from you. If they want to laugh, let them laugh. If they want to giggle at you, let them giggle. If they want to give a side eye, allow them. It does not define you. However people react, whatever people say, does not define you. It's how you see yourself, is what you say about yourself. So if you are
Yeah.
capable, there is need for you to have the confidence. The confidence to talk about what you do, the confidence to talk about the value you create, and the confidence to talk about the impact that you are making. So thank you so much, Coach Michael. I think I'll pass the mic to Jamie if he has something to say about this.
Yeah.
No, I think you really hit it on the. I mean, hit it pretty well on the head, Zion. I mean, you're right. I think a lot of people do question themselves, right? They do hesitate in meetings. They just don't. Once again, they don't have that confidence, right? And they are more than capable, but maybe
Mm.
it's just they're afraid they're going to look bad, or they might say something wrong, or they just get this doubt in the back of their mind, right? That, oh, if I make this decision and there's a 0.1% chance that it backfires on me, then it's on me, right? But it's better to, depending on the job you're in, sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness, right? But then to make a decision, you got to show that confidence, right? And not every decision you make and not everything you say in a meeting might not be the way you thought it was going to come out. But you know what? It was better if you just resisted and didn't do anything and just reserved yourself. So
Mm.
I think that makes perfect sense. Sean Michael, and I think there's a lot of people who are more than capable to do certain types of jobs and do certain things in the positions they're in, and they just, for whatever reason it is, they just kind of get cold feet when it comes to doing certain things. There's plenty of leaders who question themselves all the time, right? And they don't even make good decisions sometimes. So I mean, I think it comes full circle on all different types of roles and different types of different types of stages in people's careers. So yeah, that's a good comment. You're right.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Can I
Well,
chip in?
of course you can, Mike. How you doing? And I say
Uh,
again, thank you for the song. You're a genius.
you're quite welcome, and I will welcome an inner swagger. I'm fine with that, and it's actually sort of heading to where I wanted to respond to Sean here, and that is, I think that people that are confident and capable and don't speak up in meetings may be misaligned. Because I had actually asked the question in the comments, what if you have both and you still can't make headway? And I've been in that position in corporate America um, more times than I want to admit. And I think at the end of the day, and I had written an article on shrinking. And what I mean by shrinking is not speaking up. Even when I know very well that this is the right path to take, and I want to work with every all the executives in the business and find a solution together. And for whatever reason, often not known or hidden or just for pure profit, they choose to do otherwise. So I would say misalignment. If you are in a place where you're both competent and confident and you're still not being heard, you may want to look around for some other place where you're valued.
I totally understand what you're saying, Mike, and I agree with you. You know, Mrs. Z says that we've all been there because we have. You know, I certainly have. I know how, you know, how to be in a meet, you know, in places where you feel you what you have to say is not valid in any case, right? I think that's, you know, it's a very fine line, I think. But, you know, being honest with ourselves, am I keeping quiet because I'm afraid? Am I keeping quiet because I don't know enough? You know, I think, you know, but this requires real honesty with ourselves, like genuine honesty with ourselves. Maybe, you know, the word brutal honesty. You know, because, you know, the reality is that no one knows everything. Yeah, but if you're in the wrong space completely, you know, if you're talking about accountancy and Ennie's in the room, yeah, I may want to speak, but I'm not minded to speak. It doesn't matter if I speak anyway because I don't care for the topic. I think this is especially important in business, Mike. Where, you know, if you're going to run your own business, where, you know, you have to love what you do. As Zara was saying, you have to have a passion for what you do. You have to truly be into it. You know, to be able to create solutions is where I put it, right? You know, many people are not in that space. So, you know, they don't. We were talking about imposter syndrome yesterday, weren't we? Wednesday, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I'm saying like, if you're in the wrong space completely and you're out of your depth, then you're not minded to put the work in. You know, without the work, you know, to build your confidence or to learn more or to be more, you know, more vocal, more visible. You know, all of that goes out the window if you're not doing what's aligned to your soul, or aligned with your career plans, or aligned with your life. You know, there's no surprise that you don't feel confident. You know, and does that mean you can't be competent? Probably not. But to be competent, you have to put it all in, right? You have to truly believe you can.
I think you
And
have to do both, Annie. I think in order to be confident, you should have competence, right? Jamie said it actually very well. There are leaders that aren't necessarily competent, but they're confident,
yeah,
and they often don't ask for help, which is
yes,
another problem. I mean, to me, the mark of a good leader is one when they're in that situation, they're honest and open and competent enough in their leadership to
mm,
actually ask. And you know, the other thing, I think it's very tied somehow to a deeper, um, I wouldn't even say confidence. It's being very secure in yourself,
mm,
and it's somehow more than just confidence. It's and to your point, Annie, it's that alignment of purpose.
mm,
Because if we're misaligned, we can be confident and competent, and just be in the wrong place.
yeah,
And the other thing I just want to finish with, at least this part of it, with this is I had spent a number of years in being silent and 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 uh and shrinking, and I had this moment of clarity that said, I am cheating those that need me to step up in
yeah,
confidence and in competence to be the person that, if they need friction, if they need a what I call opponent processing, if they need to hear whatever I'm saying that is the truth in that situation, it's very important that we do that. So it's not always just for ourselves.
mm,
Sometimes actually we need to do this for the other.
yeah.
That's all I got for you.
No, I love that. You know, I think that's a good wrapper around the conversation. Again, so many of us think career, we think of a job. I think when I think career, I think of your own business because I think that's where this truly counts, Mike. In that, again, a lot of people they want the confidence to be all knowing and all doing, But no one is like that. If you've got enough to help someone solve their problem, I say start. Again, look, I didn't. Don't be faking it till you make it. Be there, ready to learn, to get better. To grow into the role, so to speak.
Yeah, Mr. Hey, let me chip in something.
Go on, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a very great point that Uncle Mike brought into the conversation. And I love the question you said earlier that what happens when somebody is confident and competent and they're not making headway. Now, it happens a lot to many persons. They have the confidence, they have the competence, but they're not making progress. They're not getting better. They are stuck in a particular position and a particular phase in their career. For me, if there's one thing I would say to anyone who is currently on that stage in their life right now, it's be vulnerable enough to ask for help.
Mm,
Ask for help. A lot of us, the confidence put us in a place of so much pride that we think we know it all, that we think we can do it all. I tell you, you cannot do it all by yourself. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how you know specialist in code you think you are, when you are stuck, don't be ashamed to say you are stuck. Don't be ashamed to say you need help, support. You need someone to guide you in the right direction. Because we don't know it all. Nobody is an island of knowledge. Nobody has it all figured out. So when you find yourself in a place you see that you are competent, you are confident, but you are not making progress, ask for help. And that's why having a coach and a mentor is very, very important for
mm,
some of us, and for myself as well. I've been in that place where, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident talking about what I'm doing, but I'm not making progress. I'm not making the amount of money I want to make. I'm not making the kind of impact I want to make. Having a coach and a mentor really help take that pressure off me to say, you know what, why not do this? Why not try this? You know,
mm,
because sometimes you might not know your level of strength in certain areas, but your coach and mentor can see your strength in certain areas and can just give you a tip and a heads up to say, you know what, why not do it this way? Why not try it this way? And you just applying that which they've told you can just become a catalyst for you to make so much progress. Why?
mm,
Because there's already preparation on ground. If there's one thing that competent and confident does for you, it prepares you for the glory days. It prepares you for when you are making the real impact and affecting life. Then during the course of the conversation, Paulette mentioned something that was very profound as well. She said, having a team is very, very important in being a competent person. And
mm,
that's true. We live in a world today where people want to do it all yourself. Take, for example, as an entrepreneur, and you are doing something, you cannot be the graphics designer, the video editor, the marketing team, the accountant. You cannot be everything. You cannot.
You
That's
can't.
why having a team and being able to delegate will help you to be competent.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, it's about the results, it's about the outcome. You telling your client, I can do this, and you deliver. So you might not be the one that does the A to Z, but you have people behind the scene who can do the A to Z and still give the desired results. So competence is not all about you, it's also about your team, the people
mm,
around you that can help you make that vision, that dream become a reality. And lastly, I will end with this because before I will give the mic for you to share more, it's our association matters a
mm,
lot. You want to be visible, you're already competent, you're already confident, but you don't have the visibility. You don't have the relationship. Nobody can put you in the room where opportunities are. Nobody can mention your name where things are happening. That's why your association is very, very important. As much
mm.
as you are building your confidence, as much as you are being a competent person, never forget to build relationship.
True.
Build relationship. A lot of people can do so much. A lot of people are confident about what they do because they don't have the relationship. Nobody can recommend you. Nobody can tell somebody about you. Something is wrong. So as much as you are building your confidence and being a competent person, have people in your life who can recommend you. My mentor said something one day. He said, one recommendation is more than 100 interviews. one recommendation is more than 100 resumes. Somebody can just recommend you and say, you know what, any can do this. And that's the only thing you need to hear. And when
Mhm.
somebody get that recommendation, boom, they don't need to ask questions so much. They're like, okay, are you Mr. Any? Yes, do this
Mhm.
job for me. So
Yeah.
I encourage anyone out there as an entrepreneur.
Mm.
No man is an island on its own. Man does not live in isolation. So learn to build your network, learn to build relationship, learn to connect with people because this is going to be an icing to the cake in you
Mm.
being confident and a competent person because
Yeah.
your cycle matters a lot. And at the end
Mm.
of the day, your association determines your destination. So I believe someone is being inspired today. So I'll just pass the mic back to any and any
Yeah.
other person who wants to chip into the conversation.
I think that's so beautifully said, Mrs. Z. Say, of course, I think we can all learn from that, right? You know, we need to build. We can't do it all. We need to build a team around us. And Paulette mentioned leveraging our team in the workplace. We have to trust others to do what they do well, to use their competence and their confidence to bring that to bring that to bear on our projects, on our work. So a lot of people don't have the competence. Yeah, I just said that, right? A lot of people are very good at what they do. Is that a problem? No. You'd be amazed, right? I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and I mean young. We're probably 20-ish, if not less than that, right? But she was willing to learn, and I think she called herself an aspiring entrepreneur. So the question I asked her was, okay, so where do you want to start? What do you want to start with? Because this confidence thing, it will help you create a solution. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, yeah, I think you have to be confident enough to create something that people need. I can't say that enough. That's the first bit of confidence you really need. And it's hard to explain where that comes from. As Mrs. Z says, coaches can definitely guide you in the right direction. But so I think we need to learn who we are. As Mike was saying, we need to learn what is our purpose. What are we gifted to create? And then we can begin to solve people's problems. Again, Mike always makes a point. It's about what we give to others that really matters. If we keep thinking of ourselves, then I think we get stuck in a terrible cycle. This in a vicious cycle. Where I don't know enough, so I can't do it. I'm too scared. What if I fail? I think and there's many more. I have to do it all because I'm the expert. I'm saying that these are the curses of confidence that people suffer. Right? Paulette talked about overconfidence. But I think there's just a fine line where and you can. Now's the time, right? If you can start today. And we can all start today. Doesn't matter if we have to change tomorrow. No. And it's one thing I will say. A lot of people who have that fear. There's one reality I want to share with you, my friends. Here it is in some very simple terms. Be prepared to be the dumbest person in the room. Often. Many people think that we must be the cleverest, we must be the smartest, we must be the most confident. No, no, no. Again, I'm referencing Mike and Sean in conversations we've had recently. When you start something new, you're not going to know a lot. You just know. As long as you know enough to start, enough to help someone, enough to bring someone to the room, enough to make a difference to someone's life, with what you do have. Be prepared to ask all the dumb questions, maybe laughed at for a while. you'd be amazed how many successful entrepreneurs will tell you for a long time they felt out of place. They just but they knew this is what they wanted to do. Again, misalignment. Yes, be very careful, be very self-aware, and be honest with yourself. If if this doesn't turn you on, it doesn't do it for you at all, let it go. Right? Don't be scared to change to what really does excite your soul, what makes your soul sing and dance. Right? But for a long time, everyone is the most stupid person in the room. It's part of the journey of success, part of the journey of competence. Otherwise, the world will not be as it is. So I think we need to trust ourselves. Yes, to ask dumb questions. Yes, to fail. Yes, not to know everything. Yes, to be god awful at whatever it is you're trying to do. Whatever we're doing, I said, look, I've done enough books, and God knows I've made enough mistakes. I've had to learn, right? I've done marketing. God, I've blown people's money. Yes, I have. Well, I made it. But sitting here now, I know a lot more than I ever have done. I've done a lot more than I could at the beginning. That's life, right? Embrace that reality. Run with it. That's exciting. Look, failing is not the end of the world. It's a chance for you to learn more. Embrace that. That's part of the journey to competence. Jamie, I think I said I've talked too much, but I haven't talked too much yet, right? Let's work on Peter, and then please, I'll give you the mic. Peter, hopefully the internet's improved, the connection's improved for you. I hope it has. And Zara was having a problem, and it was choppy. But I think now we're in a better place. I think. Hopefully we are, right? Go on, Jamie, please. The mic is yours.
Yes, I mean, gosh, this has been like Zion said, right? This has been a very powerful conversation so far. I mean, we've talked a lot about the differences between having confidence versus competency, right? And we've had a lot of people sharing some great thoughts today. I mean, Sean Michael made us think a little bit about what he said about people speaking up, right? And Mike LeBlanc added some great stuff to the conversation. I mean, we had our earlier speakers with Zarar. And why am I not remembering the name off the top of my head? What was the lady's name?
Paulette.
What?
Paulette.
Oh, that's right.
Paulette.
Yes. Thank you. Refreshing my memory. Yes. So we had a lot of great, like I said, great people, sharing some thoughts here. And it's been a really good conversation, right? I love anytime we talk about career stuff, it's right in my alley. So I always enjoy talking about this. So, no, nothing really more to add. Other than wanting to thank everybody for sharing their thoughts. We had another great 90-minute conversation, and I think next week we're going to be back an hour. We're going to go an hour earlier because of the time change out here in the States, right?
No. Let me stop you. No. That's not going to happen. I tell you what. Your clocks are going forward on the 8th of March.
Yeah.
Right. Our clocks go forward on the 31st of March, that weekend. I don't know how this happens. You would have thought someone could align them so they go forward together, wouldn't you? They don't. And I missed a meeting today because I missed a meeting yesterday. I missed a meeting on Monday. I'm saying every day I'm missing because the clock thing is just such a.
It's goofy. It's so really goofy. It is. It's only the best way to put it. It's just goofy. I'm telling you. But okay, so we'll keep it this time then.
Yeah, we're back same time. Same time next week for sure. Now let's welcome Layla. Say, how do you create safe space for people to speak up? Oh, I love that question. So Mr. J, our storyteller supreme. If you haven't seen his book, Rules of Engagement Storytelling, do connect with him. Temi, welcome as well. I see you. And she says hello to Fumi. I don't know. I see. We don't see everyone on our list. Femi says, okay, get credit with Fumi is what she's talking about. Okay, hopefully that's your brand. That's your company. Now, so do connect, my friends. Do connect with people. People have expertise, right? Let's truly give them let's give each other a chance to shine. I think that's what I'm trying to say, Jamie. We need to give people, give and if someone wants to give you something, even if it's free, there's something about accepting people's gifts with grace. I think I think someone made a point earlier. I mean, no, more than once, right? That we have to be willing to let others help us. Imagine how someone feels when they help you. Imagine how you feel when you help people. Why would you deny other people that pleasure, that joy? We have to be open to it to genuinely get help. And sometimes, yes, we have to pay for that help. I'm saying, but that's life, right? But let people who can do something so well they can move your life forward do what they do. There's no other way of saying it, right? Because Sean says the other side is that many very competent people struggle with lack of confidence. Every day, Sean, every day we see it all around us. As Mr. Z says, they're holding themselves back, and that's an awful thing about the whole lot, right? Don't hold yourself back. Don't overthink it. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Jamie, I tell you, there's a question that's going around my head, so I might as well ask it, right? You can help me. I mean, if anyone is in Mr. Z and Mike, if you have a thoughts, and those in the comments as well, please. I'd love to know your thoughts, right? You know, if you are not, if you don't have the qualification, not qualifications, of course, jobs have essential qualities that you need, essential skills you need, and characteristics, and some have desirable and some have nice to haves, right? If you're not at all, qualified for a job, would you advise going, if you haven't got the competence, in other words, as far as you can document or evidence, would you still advise going for a high level position?
It's a good question, right? And I always tell people this, like, even when you're applying to a job, like if you're going for a position that's higher than you think you're at, if you look at you could apply to the same, let's just say a project manager role. There's 10 different project manager roles. They're all the same title, but everyone might be different in terms of what they're actually looking for in their next project manager, right? So I always say, look at the job requisition. And if you meet, let's just say 70, 80% of the job, and you can do that confidently, and the other 20%, you're like, you know what? I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to, to learn as much as possible. And I'm a fast learner, and you can portray that in the interview process. And if they ask you specifically, like, hey, we saw your resume, but we're looking for somebody who has this experience. If you don't apply to the role, you're not getting the interview anyways, right? So have that confidence, apply. And if you get the interview, just know that you got the interview. And at that point, if that comes up, and they catch you and they say, well, we're looking for somebody as this, how are you going to do this? You could say, honestly, you're right. I don't have a ton of experience in this, with this specific thing you're looking for, but I can tell you that I'm a sponge. I soak up as much as possible. I'm willing to learn it as fast as I can and really take the time to learn it. And I promise you, I catch on fast. So if you're willing to, I can do a majority of what the job's asking me for. And I think you're going to do, it's going to be great hiring me. You're going to see my value and what I can bring to you. And if I can learn that other piece, I promise you I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to continue to learn it even before I get hired. And I'm going to, develop that skill as we go along. And you just be honest with that. Talk about how you're a fast learner, you're a sponge, and companies want that. They want somebody they can mold. So, you're better off to apply than not apply and not have any chance of getting an interview.
Yeah, no, I like
Can
that.
I respond?
Please, of course you can, Mike. You're on stage.
I'm going to be unpopular with Jamie with this answer.
Go for it.
First of all, I'm not going to apply. I am going to network my way into that position. I'm going to have someone that's already my champion in that position, and I'm going to be able to, if the job that they're trying to craft is not what I can do, I'm going to craft the role into something I can do, or to Jamie's point, is a bit of a stretch goal. If we're not stretching, we're not, we're dying. If we're not learning, we're dying. So I agree with that part. But this goes back, and I'm sorry, it goes back to confidence and competence, because we have to know that we can come in there and just knock it out of the park. and we should be able to land. Now, if we're not landing, even when we're doing that type of thing, and Jamie, I think it's so freaking critical in the interview to turn it away from being and particularly at my level, I can't have an interrogation as an interview. I need to have a conversation. I need to understand what your business goals are and how I can bring value to you. And I should already have some of those answers. I should have OKRs. And again, I should have crafted the OKRs for the position that I'm not even filling. It's the position that I'm bringing to you that is probably even better than what you're trying, to get. And yes, you have to have confidence to do that and competence. So I don't know if I stepped on your toes there, but it's
No. I think you're both saying the same thing. You both, what you both said is don't not apply. I know you're
yeah.
saying you're gonna network your way there, and I said don't turn your back because you don't meet the criteria perfectly. I think that, but it takes a lot of confidence, Mike, as you're saying, to believe that you can bring something to the table to the company, and that you can get them to even listen to you, right? The
But
problem is that many in the job search phase, they're almost beaten before they even start. They're doubting themselves, they're doubting everything. I'm not going to get the job anyway. I'm not going to get an interview. I'm going to get rejected, and they're defeated before they even begin, right? Whereas if I'm having the confidence to truly believe that you can add value, and then seek to communicate that somehow. Whether that's through networking, whether it's through haranguing the VA, the assistant, the boss's executive assistant, or,
writing
even
articles on LinkedIn.
go for LinkedIn.
Writing articles on LinkedIn, getting on LinkedIn Lives, and portraying leadership. I did want to mention before I let you go.
Please feel free.
I had written in the comments, building the peak team takes competence and, frankly, a confident humility. So it's all saying the same thing, but I'm trying to tie what Zion was saying, what you were saying, what Jamie is saying, all together and saying that we had, and I completely agree that if we're going to go particularly a senior level position, you're going to have the confidence. But that confidence, in my opinion, should be based on your competence, and there should be a humility wrapped up in as sort of like a bow in all of this. Because yes, absolutely, particularly as a leader, you're going to have to delegate, or you should be delegating, and you shouldn't be the smartest person in the room all the time anyway, in your given area of expertise, and particularly as a leader, as setting vision. If if you're not if you're not confident there, that's a problem. But generally, yes, absolutely, you should be leaning on your and not just your reports, pretty much anyone, up and down the hierarchy.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with you on that one. Look, that's it. I want to thank everyone that's joined us. So, Mrs. Z and Jamie, if there's anything you want to say before we go, please. You feel free.
No, nothing else. Like I said, it's been a great conversation. Appreciate everyone who's been joined in the conversation, and looking forward to it. Yeah, we got the fire symbols going on right there from Temetapi, so that's awesome. And I agree. It's been a great conversation. I'm looking forward to the next one that we have.
Yeah, I say a couple more weeks of the month left, right? I think so. We're going to build into confidence conversation in our next event, Mr. Z. I hope, I think. So do join us again, my friends. Thank you so much. Do enjoy your weekend. Of course, those who are on Team Replay, do connect with us, and do join us and come and share as well. All our speakers, I'm genuinely forever grateful to you for joining us, for always adding to our learning, for making our day even better than it was, right? So thank you so much, Jamie. Of course, you're the star of the show. If you are, of course, if you want someone to build your confidence, there's two people, Jamie and Mrs. Z, build your confidence. and Mike and I would, would do our bit, but we like people who are before we want to get involved, ideally, right? People who do already. That's what excites us, But I will thank you all and wish you a happy weekend. Join us again next Friday, same time. I'm gonna play Mike's song that is written for me, just so that everyone can hear. If you can get a video, if you're a great AI creator, and not just AI, if you want to mix me into the AI video, what are they called? Those scenes, those stock video scenes, right? If you want to create a great video, and you can connect with me, I'd love to see what we can do to make this song really come to life. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, or enjoy your weekend. Mr. Z, say bye to you too. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Mike, thank you so much for this song. I can't thank you enough. Listen, there you see why I'm so, I'm so blown away.
No, thank you. It was a blessing, and it's a blessing to hear that it touched you or resonated in some way. Thank you so much.
You keep doing it, Mike. So there's me, there's Paulette, there's Marsha, there's many more people. I'm saying, but you got a skill that is truly remarkable. Here goes. You know what I'm talking about. So any presses play, yeah.
No one's coming to your corner of the street. Just a dream in a door nobody sees. You've been building something real with your hands, but the world keeps moving, doesn't understand. You wrote the words, you put in all the work, still invisible, and God, that hurts. But there's a man who finds you in the quiet, calls your name before you know it's yours, built you up when every system fails you. Whoa. Opens every overlooked and forgotten door. He believes in you before you believe yourself. Takes your story off the shelf, puts a light on everything you are, and he sees you. He sees you. He sees you. From the children with no voice in borrowed rooms, to the magazines that carry their truth. 25 years of the same steady hand, finding the ones who fell through the cracks of the plan. From Mitcham to Croydon, from London to the world, every flag he planted said, you matter, you're heard. But there's a man who finds you in the quiet, calls your name before you know it's yours, built you up when every system fails you, opens every overlooked and forgotten door. He believes in you before you believe yourself. Takes your story off the shelf, puts a light on everything you are, and he sees you. He sees you. And he sees you. ground. Now the dreamer's name is making a sound. 8 boots deep and the stage is full. The people he lifted when the world said don't bother. What he gave wasn't money or time alone. He gave you back the voice you'd always own. We didn't know we were worth finding. Didn't know our names deserved to ring out. Then you showed up quiet and decided, and showed us what believing looks like. You didn't wait for us to prove it first. You just believe. You just believe. There's a man who finds you in the quiet, calls your name before you know it's yours, builds you up when every system fails you, opens every overlooked and forgotten door. He believes in you before you believe yourself. Takes your story off the shelf, puts a light on it.